Hey guys, Kamina the Coach here, a long time no see. For those of you who are just joining the channel, my name is Kamina the Coach. I've been working and living abroad since 2010, 2011. In March of 2020, I moved back to the United States due to COVID, and really started working on some early childhood trauma, and a lot of that related to adoption trauma. I was lucky enough to get back out of the United States September 2022, Mexico, and then Iraq, and now I'm back in Mexico. You will find a mixture of videos on this channel about living a better, happy, more full, peaceful life, working and living abroad, and working through early childhood trauma and adoption trauma. Sorry for the moving around. I don't really have a good place in my new place to sit my phone. This is actually a different place from the last place I did my video. And truth be told, I guess there's probably two reasons I haven't done a video in a while. One, I really haven't had time. I've only been here in part of January to February, February to March, so 2 months. And I've moved 3 times. It's a lot. So I've been really busy, and the job is pretty busy. But otherwise, the other reason is actually a pretty positive reason. I think I do a lot of videos when I'm in a state of flux or a state of disheartenedness. Is that a word? When I'm in a state of distress. And I haven't been that way in a long time. Since moving back to Mexico this time, I feel peace even when things are not peaceful. And things definitely haven't been peaceful. I mean, sorry, I'm moving around a lot. I mean, there've been some spaces of time where I have felt peaceful, but in general, it's been quite hectic since I got here. And though I do speak Spanish, living in a foreign country, it's just a challenge, like actually living in a foreign country versus just working in a foreign country. So nonetheless, I feel a peace like I haven't before, in a state of crisis. Like, so I've been places, like the last time I was in Saudi Arabia, I was really peaceful, but that's because things were going quite peacefully. And it really feels good to know that all the hard work that I've done in my life to find a state of calm is really paying off when I need it to pay off. And it's just good. It's just rewarding, you know, the fruits of your labor, when you see it really pay off, it just feels good. What is this video about? So the interesting thing is, a lot of interesting things, right? So I'm an introvert. I'm often mistaken as an extrovert, especially when I'm in my element, when I'm around people that I like and feel comfortable around. When I'm in my classroom, I am alive. I'm a live wire. Being an introvert for me doesn't mean that I'm shy. I can be quiet. I could come off as standoffish and aloof. I don't like small talk. But being an introvert for me means that I draw energy for being alone. I do need, just like everybody does, occasionally to be around people. But for the most part, especially when I'm feeling anxious and distressed, I feel I draw my energy and my peace really from being alone. There are all sorts of definitions of introvertism, and people define themselves in all sorts of different ways, but that's how I define me and my introvertism. Is that a word? Introversion. Introversion. I have joined a group for introversion connections, and I know that in history, for myself, especially as an INFJ, a very rare type, personality type, I tend to draw people. I tend to draw wounded birds. I tend to draw people that have a hurting place inside of them. Even when I was hurting, I drew people who were also hurting, because there is a special something in INFJs, a kind of light that draws others to us. And especially as someone who has a lot of healing properties in their being, as an earth mama that I am, I tend to draw a lot of people searching, hurting, looking for peace, seeking peace, because they feel like they can get that from me. And even if it's subconsciously, there's something subconsciously in them that is drawn to me. And I, at this day and age, am not interested in, to be honest, the more healed I am, the less interested I am in healing others. And it's hard to say that and not feel selfish saying it, but the truth is that I'm not your guru. I don't like Tony Robbins personally, but and I haven't watched the documentary I'm Not Your Guru, but I'm not your guru, I'm not your savior. I can't save you. And I think I've done videos like this before. I think I've said this before, but I think it's something really important to say, that if you believe in God or any kind of spirituality, any of that stuff, all of that lies within you. God is you. If you don't believe in anything, okay, that's good for you. But that also means that your peace and your self-love and your wholeness is your responsibility. It's not the responsibility of anyone else. It is solely your responsibility. Your peace is your responsibility. Your healing is your responsibility. I know that for extroverts, there's a drawing of energy from being around people. But if an introvert says, I feel lonely. Personally, when I said I felt lonely, I was searching for someone to be what I needed to be to myself. And so I think that it's really interesting that as I've gotten older and as I heal more and as I really, really come into my own as a woman, and I started to say as a young woman, but I'm a middle-aged woman at this point, but I feel like a young woman. I feel like a young, vibrant woman. As I come in more and more and more into myself, I'm not interested in taking on any wounded birds. Over a year ago, I met somebody special who is also an INFJ, and I find INFJ men carry so much sadness in them. And I knew when I met this person that I was going to end up causing an awakening in them, and I did. And that person didn't shy away from me when I told them that I think that I was sent to you to cause this existential crisis, this awakening in you. And they didn't shy away from that, but I felt really sad when I said it, because I knew that when this awakening took place, that I was not meant to go along with them after that. So that's great. I know that I will always have a special place in that person's heart because I was the person that opened up a door to greater healing and to push them to learn more about themselves and to seek healing on their own. But it was pretty painful for me. I hadn't had any closeness to anyone in a while. And we had never met face to face, but we talked once a week, and it was special and meaningful to be heard and to be seen. And it was hurtful to lose that connection because I was only meant to be there for a season for that awakening. And so as I move through this journey, do I want to have somebody in my life? Sure. But somebody who is aware that all of their healing power is within them, that healing is a forever journey, that working towards peace and stillness and comfort is a actual solitary endeavor, or at least for introverts anyways. I can't see that I would ever be able to have this kind of connection with an extrovert, because I think that extroverts would not believe that they could have a relationship and not be in the presence of that person all the time. Versus I think that introverts, especially deep down introverts, could really understand that we could have a relationship and not be up underneath each other all the time and see each other once every couple of months. So I'm rambling. I'm rambling. I haven't done a video in a long time. I just wanted to let everybody know that, you know, peace is possible, stillness is possible. I've moved around a lot. I've lived in 8 different countries over the last over a decade, but I moved around a lot more than those 8 times. And so, you know, stillness and peace is possible. Healing is possible. It never ends, but it definitely is possible. And that's kind of it. There's no like end of the story, like the end. It's not the end of the story. I'm only halfway through it, but I hope that watching and following along, that there is some kind of inspiration for others living a similar, maybe parallel type path. And that's all. I will say at the end of this video that I'm doing my best not to be angry at digital nomads. It is heartbreaking to me to look at countries, especially this state in Mexico, lots of parts of Mexico that have just been taken over by people working online in the United States, moving down to Mexico because it's cheaper, or living off of alternate forms of income that are coming from the United States, and then moving to countries that are poorer and gentrifying it. And that's what's going on here, and it makes me sad. So I hope that I don't have to continue to run from the digital nomads. I hope that they won't reach here. I hope that I can just have some peace in my little bubble, but it looks as though you're gonna encroach on my space here too. I'm in a small town in Oaxaca, but I kind of feel the United States closing in on me here too. So just leaving people with that little nugget as I go ahead and close up here. Peace is possible. Your healing is your responsibility. It's not anybody else's responsibility. And we'll go ahead and leave it there. Until next time, my name is Camina the Coach, sending you love, light, peace, and joy. Until next time, again, Camina the Coach. I'm out.